Hello and welcome to this video. In this video I will show you how to make a pair of wedding earrings using pearls. I will use teardrop pearls and also spherical pearls, white pearls, and I will also need some findings and some tools. Let's begin by talking about the tools that I will use. I will first of all use this type of pliers. These pliers are called chain nose pliers. The chain nose pliers have this narrow end here, which is made for grabbing small parts. So for example, this jump ring is very small, so it is difficult to work with it if you do not have a pair of pliers that are very narrow towards the top so that they can grab the small part. And the pliers are also going to be used to bend the pins. I have two types of pins, and I will tell you exactly what these pins are and what they are used for. So this is a tool that you will use very often for your handmade jewelry, the chain nose pliers. And as detail on this pair of pliers, you will notice that the surface, the inside surface of the pliers is flat, so it has no teeth here. The purpose, the reason why this surface is flat is that if it doesn't have any teeth, it will not scratch the surface of the metal, of the findings that you use. And another detail that you have to take into consideration when you buy your tools is this little spring here. With your tools for your handmade jewelry, you should also have a spring on your pliers, because the spring will open the tool after you have used it. So if I have, let's say, bent the pin, I release the handles and the pliers open on their own so that I can use them again. So it is very practical when you want to work faster and to work with only one hand. So this spring is also a detail that you should take into consideration when choosing your tools. Another type of pliers that we are going to use to make these earrings are these pliers. These are the cutting pliers. As the name implies, you are going to use them to cut your pins or any other metal parts that you want to cut. In this case, we are going to make earrings and we will have to cut the pins to the right length. The next pair of pliers are these pliers. These pliers are called round nose pliers because they have these rounded ends here. The round nose pliers are used to create loops on your pins. So you will simply wrap the wire around the pliers and create a loop. As you can see, these pliers also have a spring here, but this spring looks different. There are two metal sheets like this, which meet here in the middle, and they also have the role of opening your pliers if you have closed them. Finding that I will talk about is this small nail. As you can see, it has this end that looks like this, and this item is called a head pin. It is called a head pin because of this end that looks like a nail. So you will use it to put the beads on it, and then you can connect it to the rest of the earring. Another finding that you will use for your beads is this type of pin. This is an eye pin, and it is called an eye pin because of this little loop that it has on its end. It is made to connect one part of the earring to another part of the earring. So for example, if you have a bead on this pin here and you want to make a dangle earring, then you can put another bead like this on the eye pin, and you will connect the eye pin with the head pin like this and make a pair of dangle earrings. So these two types of pins are used for the earrings, and they come in different sizes. You can find the shorter pins than these if you want to put just one bead or two small beads, but there are also pins that are much longer than these, which are designed either for larger beads or for the use of many beads on one pin. Beside the pins, you will also need this item for your earrings. This is called the fishhook ear wire or the French ear wire, and it is used for hanging the earring in the ear. And now that I've talked about the tools and the findings that you will use for the earrings, let's start making the earrings. Let's put some of the findings and the tools away so that we have some space. And now I will take the first pearl. I will take the teardrop pearl and put the bead on it. And now let's measure the length of the pearl, of the pin, sorry, and let's cut the pin. So I will cut the pin around here using the cutting pliers. So I'll grab the pin like this, and I'll cut it using the cutting pliers. And now that I've cut the pin, I will bend the pin. So I will take the pin like this and bend it to 90 degrees using the chain nose pliers. So I have bent the pin this way. And now I will take the round nose pliers to make the loop. So I will grab the end of the pin with the round nose pliers like this and start creating the loop like this. So I have not closed the loop yet. I will put it away for the moment, and now I will do the second part of the earring. I will take an eye pin and put two of those spherical beads like this. And now I will also measure the length of this pin, and I will cut the pin with the cutting pliers like this, and I have cut another fragment of the pin, which I'll put away. And now I have this end of the pin. And again, I will take the chain nose pliers, grab the pin and bend the pin. It should be in the same direction with the other uh, loop, otherwise it will look asymmetrical. So I'll bend to 90 degrees the pin with the chain nose pliers, and now I will take the round nose pliers, grab the end of this pin and again start creating the loop. So as you can see here, the top of the pliers, of the round nose pliers, is smaller, whereas the base of the pliers here is larger. So if you want to make a smaller loop, you will use the top of the pliers. If you want to make a larger loop, you'll use this part here, which is larger. So now I am creating this loop like this, and I'm not closing it. First of all, I will take this loop, which is also not finished, not closed. I put it through this eye here, through this loop, and now I'm going to grab it with the pliers and close the loop like this. As you can see, I have closed the loop and I've connected the two pins together to make a pair of dangle earrings. And now, to finish the earring, I will put the fishhook ear wire on this loop here, which I haven't closed yet. So I put the fishhook ear wire here, and now I will grab again the round nose pliers, the loop, like this. And I have created the first earring. So this is the first dangle earring, wedding earring. And now let's continue by making the second earring. Again, I will take the pin, the head pin, and put the pearl, the teardrop pearl, and check the length. So I will cut a bit of this pin with the cutting pliers, like this. So this is the bit I have cut, and with the remaining pin I will create a loop by first taking the chain nose pliers, the one that is flat inside here. I will grab the pin and bend it to 90 degrees like this. So this is the first step in creating the loop on the pin. So first of all, you have to bend it to 90 degrees like this. And the second stage is to grab the pin with the round nose pliers, the end of the pin with the round nose pliers, and start creating the loop like this. Now I have left the loop open like this. I have not closed the loop yet, and I will take the eye pin and put the first pearl, the larger pearl, and then the smaller pearl, like this, the two spherical pearls. And now we have to cut a bit of the pin here. So I will again grab the pliers and cut this little bit of the pin. And now I have a shorter pin here, and I will grab the chain nose pliers and bend the pin like this. It has to be bent in the same direction as the other loop, like this. So if the first loop is this way, the pin has to go in the same direction, so that the two loops will be symmetrical. Now that I've bent the pin, I will take the round nose pliers and grab the end of the pin and start making a loop. And now I will take the first pearl and I will take this pearl and put the pearl on the unfinished loop on the other loop, and now I will close the first loop using the round nose pliers, and I've created the first loop. I've closed the first loop and created this part of the earring. So all we have to do is attach the fishhook ear wire. So I will take the fishhook ear wire and put it on this loop, this unfinished loop, and I will close this loop too, like this. So now we have finished both earrings. And this is what the wedding earrings, dangle earrings with white pearls look like. So as you can see, you only need a few findings and a few tools to create this nice pair of wedding earrings. Now you can enjoy wearing your handmade earrings. Hello and welcome to this video. I'll show you in this video how to make a pair of handmade earrings using crystals. So these are some transparent crystals that you can use to make a pair of wedding earrings. In order to make those earrings, I have chosen this teardrop crystal. I've also chosen this long crystal and this rounded crystal. As findings, we are going to use some eye pins. They are called eye pins because they have this small loop here which looks like an eye, and this eye has the role of connecting this pin to another pin so that you can create dangle earrings. So all you will have to do is make a loop on this other pin and attach the loop to the eye of your first pin. So you will connect them like this, and you will make dangle earrings. The pin is used for putting the beads on it, as you probably knew. And let's see the other type of pin that we are going to use. This little pin looks like a nail. I don't know if you can see it. And the head of this nail gives the name of the pin. It is called the head pin. So you can also put beads on this pin and make a pair of nice earrings. Besides the two pins, I will also use another type of finding, the fishhook ear wire. This ear wire is called fishhook ear wire or French ear wire, and it is used for hanging the earring on your ear. So beside the findings and the beads, the crystals, you will also need the tools for making the jewelry. And now let's talk about the tools. The first tool and the most important tool for anyone who makes handmade jewelry is this type of pliers. These pliers are called the chain nose pliers, and they are used for bending metal. For example, if you want to bend your wire, you will use this this pair of chain nose pliers. And they are also used for opening and closing jump rings and for any other operation that means handling your metal parts of the jewelry, the findings. The chain nose pliers have a characteristic. They have no teeth on the inside of the pliers. So if all pliers have teeth inside, this type of pliers has no teeth inside, and the reason the reason why these pliers are flat inside is that this prevents the pliers from scratching the pins and any other metal parts that you are working with. They also have a small spring here which opens the pliers after you have used them. Beside the chain nose pliers, you will also use the cutting pliers, and they are used for cutting the wire. And the third type of pliers that I wanted to show you are the round nose pliers, which are rounded at the end, and they are used for creating this type of loops. And in order to create the loop, you simply grab the end of the pin and twist it around these ends, and you will end up having these loops. So if you see the shape of this pair of pliers, these pliers are narrower towards the top and wider towards the base. This means that if you want to make a loop and you make it towards the top of your pliers, the loop will be smaller. If you make the loop towards the base of the pliers, it will be larger. So you can decide exactly on which part of these pliers you want to make your loop. And they also have spring, and this time this spring does not look like a coil, it looks like two sheets of metal that meet here in the middle. And now that I've shown you what findings we need, what beads we need, what tools we need, now let's begin making the earrings themselves. So first of all, I will begin by taking a pin and putting a head pin and putting the teardrop crystal on the pin. I will measure the length of this pin, and I will try to cut just a bit of the pin. So for cutting the end of the pin, I've used the cutting pliers, but I only needed to cut a bit of this pin. The second tool that I will use are the chain nose pliers, and I will grab the pin and bend it to 90 degrees like this in order to create a loop. Now let's take an eye pin and put the other crystals like this on the eye pin, And again I will measure this eye pin, and this eye pin is long enough, it doesn't need cutting with the cutting pliers anymore. And I will begin making the loop here as well. I will bend the pin. You should be careful when bending your pins, because with crystals there is the risk that they may break. Small parts of the crystal may break. And now I will take the first crystal and I will create the loop. I will grab the end of the pliers, of the pin with the pliers, and I will start to roll this pin around the end of the pliers, and I will put the next part, the second pin, on this loop, on the loop that I have begun to make. And now I will have to close this loop with the other pin attached. I will take again the round nose pliers and turn this loop like this until I have closed it. And now the two parts, the two pins, are attached, and I have created this part of the dangle earring. Like this. And now I have to also make a loop on this end. So as I've told you, I bend this pin to 90 degrees, and now I will start making the loop by grabbing the end of the pin like this and turning it around. And let's continue turning the pin around like this. And I have created this little hook. And now let's attach the fishhook ear wire. I've put the fishhook ear wire on this small hook, and now I'll close the hook. I will create the loop like this. And now I have created the loop and attached the fishhook ear wire to the rest of the earring. So this is our first earring, wedding earring using white crystals. And now let's continue by creating the second earring. I will take the second head pin, put the pearl on the head pin, and I will check if the pin is long enough. Now this pin is long enough, so I will not have to cut the pin with the cutting pliers. I will take the next tool, the chain nose pliers, and I will grab this pin and bend it to 90 degrees in order to create the loop. I'll take the second eye pin, put the crystals on the eye pin, like this, and I will measure this pin. This pin is long enough, so I won't have to cut it either. And let's create the second loop. So you can leave a bit, like 1 millimeter, between the point where you want to bend the pin and the last crystal, because as I've told you, the crystal might break otherwise. So I will bend the pin to 90 degrees. And now let's create this loop and attach the first pin to the second. I will take the teardrop pearl and grab the end of the pearl, of the crystal. I'll grab this end of the pin and start rolling the pin around the pliers. Now before I close the loop, I will put this pin on the loop and close the loop. And now I have attached these two pins together. Now let's create the second loop here. I will grab the end of the pin with the round nose pliers and start rolling the end of the pin like this. And I've created this hook. On this hook I will put the fishhook ear wire like this. So like this I put the fishhook ear wire on this hook that I've created here. And now let's close the loop here so that the fishhook ear wire doesn't fall off anymore. Like this. And now the second earring is also ready. And now let's see the two finished earrings, wedding earrings with white crystals. So as you can see, using two pins, a head pin and an eye pin, you have created a pair of dangle earrings because you have connected the two loops here. And then all you had to do was attach the fishhook ear wires or the French ear wires to the rest of the earrings. So these are the crystal wedding earrings.